This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. Oh.
Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Link Up Podcast with your host, Mistuh King, Kana Woods, Woods not here.
Oh, yeah.
Rashid and Kalisa here in the building.
So use Woods now. So
this episode
we replace the water robot for the next, water review for the next.
That's how it goes.
Just keep switching them out back and forth.
You know that's how it goes. They replaceable, they interchangeable, that kind of way.
That's how you feel? I feel like right now, no.
Nah, man, you can't do that.
Right, because I on camera this week, no?
Exactly.
And now you need to pip me out.
I ain't say that. I ain't use those words. Those are the words I came.
I use them though.
Yeah. Several times.
I use them though. I think I'm pretty much on the record.
Episode Sean get vexed. The whole episode get cancelled because I was supposed to be on camera, but the camera decided it wasn't working that day, and Sean was like, "No, we're not doing it."
That was the case.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like something I would do.
That was a few weeks ago, self.
I mean, that's basically the importance of Kalisa on screen.
But yeah. But
Yes,
they missed the whole Hot Girl Summer again. The camera wasn't cooperating.
Well, one of these days, you know.
One of these days.
Summer won't come back.
I mean, technically in here is a Hot Girl Summer.
It's a winter
not
now.
out there, though.
No, outside. No.
Oh, they're kind of
I mean, where you going outside? You know, let me hospital. We're going to do plugs in the beginning?
Yeah, good
Yeah,
job.
why not? Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, shit. Might as well have just start. I asked a question, might as well just anyway, actually, I would like to give a shout out before we really start. I would like to give a big shout out to Hangover and Arsenio them. For y'all that don't know, Reckless was in Club Up last week, Saturday. We
big tunes, big
we fill up our venue. Both Zaz was full.
Mm-hmm.
So again, also shout out to everybody that coming through. Big up Ryan for his birthday. He's choosing to celebrate his birthday with us, so we appreciate that. And yeah, shout out to everybody that come through. Shout out Hangover and the crew them. It was a good edition.
Also, while the busy giving out acknowledgements and stuff like that, just
yeah.
Shout out to USC and stuff, because this is something that we didn't really mention. The gala that was at least now 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So shout out to USC and stuff for honoring us and acknowledging us, and then as well shout out to Say Less Is, because they also was on a acknowledgement and honoring people.
10 or 12 day acknowledgement
plan. No, that's the 12 days of Christmas type of thing.
I think so. But then wouldn't it have been passed already? Because tomorrow's Christmas and it was only like 3.
Yo.
The point is,
exactly. Stop bringing in negative energy.
No, it's
stress
not,
about that.
It's not a 12 day of Christmas.
Just
it's just a 12.
that we get acknowledged.
No, we're not saying, but we're saying like what the actual thing is, so people go and check it. It's a 12 day appreciate. It's a 12 post something.
Okay, and yeah, like you say, there was on the third one, and the link up, we got acknowledged and recognized as the third one, so we definitely want to say thank you to Say Less Is and whatnot for.
And I still waiting for an episode. I still waiting for an episode. I just putting that out there.
I understand.
All right, but again, shout out to the Say Less them crew. We appreciate it. We really do appreciate it.
And I just forget to post the picture from the USC thing where they honored us and wrote a little paragraph and whatnot about what all we've been doing and acknowledging that we like 100 plus.
You could post on the IG page and tag them too.
Yeah. That we still gotta do, but eventually we can come to that.
But yeah, before we finish with the plugs, well, not like always, but again this Sunday, when this coming out, this is Tuesday.
Thursday.
So this Sunday, Reckless Brazil Bar come through for all, if you want to show off your Christmas gift, ladies, or your costumes and them kind of costumes, dresses and them kind of ones. I mean, hey, some people just go a little bit all out for Christmas. But yeah,
I mean,
if you want to try on your New Year's Eve outfit a little early just to see how people gonna like it, if they're gonna like it, come through Reckless.
If it's club appropriate. Because some people that's going, be hitting the dinners and them type of things, the formal attire and all that.
Everybody's welcome.
We don't judge.
That's appropriate for Reckless.
Brazil Bar come through however you want.
And them ones.
So what USC was?
I understand. It wasn't as Reckless.
It wasn't what?
It wasn't as.
Only because they didn't have as many people as we had thought it would have been.
I think probably just more than anything, probably because it ended early.
Yeah.
Not early, but I mean.
If the alcohol was cheaper,
Right?
That's it.
If the alcohol is cheaper, or we're not gonna bring their own drinks.
Going off on a
Or-
tangent here. We didn't even start the episode yet
That's
properly,
okay.
and we already on a tangent.
We still shouting out USC and CLS. But anyway, if they had alcohol, if USC had the alcohol and the thing, it would have been a little bit. People would have been a little bit more thing. But anyway, like we were saying, like I was saying, Reckless every Sunday, Brazil Bar. Make sure come out. We're going to be there this Sunday and next week for sure for the last one of the year. So, you know, you have anything else to do, come true. Yeah, that's it for me.
Curious?
Yeah, every Monday as well. Do they have Curious next week? Yeah. The last Curious of the year as well is going to be next week. So you have nothing else to do on Monday. Come true. Come Sunday first though. And then you can go Monday.
Alright then. And I basically think
Is that?
Hey, at least Brazil bar free. So, you see? Look. You see? You selling it right now, Sean.
But then it's free all the time. That would say everybody welcome. Hobo, no hobo. If you want to walk in, no walk in. Come true.
But yeah, also, you know, make sure to tune in for the Mistuh King LP. I was basically doing some mixing and putting in some work and stuff like that. So I feel like it could still potentially make January the 8th. That's like 2 weeks from tomorrow. Tomorrow is Christmas. So
Yeah.
2 weeks from tomorrow. So I think that should be, you know, sufficient time and all of that. Make stuff, how them streaming services and whatnot does work with the upload stuff. And so I think I'm going to upload it tomorrow, export like the final mixes and thing. And then, so it should be available by January 8th if all goes well with the streaming services and whatnot. I think normally they just recommend like 3 weeks or something like that. To make sure it's on everything, because certain streaming services have like a different amount of time before they approve whatever it is you upload and stuff like that. So to make sure it's on everything, they just recommend like 3 weeks or something like that. So we'll see. Hopefully it all works out and it's able to come out on January 8th. If it doesn't, then that is
Later
date.
Yeah, basically.
Y'all gonna hear it soon.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it coming out. The stuff pretty much done, so it coming out for sure. So with all of that being said, plugs out the way and everything, intro out the way, let's get into the first topic of today. So I think we could start with...
Bye.
We have a lot of ridiculous topics
Yeah.
today, so I mean,
Yeah.
let's just pick one and kind of go through it. Basically, can boys be princesses? Let's start there.
No. The fuck?
We didn't even get to provide no more context and everything.
Continue.
Although I don't know the exact context because I just saw the picture on Facebook the same way, I guess, whoever it was that posted it in the group, in the link up group.
I sent it in a group.
Yeah. Like I saw the
refuse to
same
even open that
picture
shit.
passed down on Facebook, and I don't know what the article was. I don't know if you clicked the article and maybe saw like more text behind what was going on.
To be honest with you, like, not really. How the picture was taken kind of had like bothered me. Look, personally, I just feel like children don't give a shit. So if your child want to dress up like I don't think they put in much thought behind it. I think it's like whatever show they like, and maybe they want to be that for Halloween or whatever. I feel like is like a different something if you taking pictures and putting it on social media and stuff like that. Because, you know, like other cheering crew and like, you know, your child might not care, but like maybe somebody else's child gonna harass your child. Like, obviously the word princess mean girl, like by the literal definition. But
That's
more
why I
than
said no in the first place.
but more than, to be honest with you, I had more than it because like what had bothered me about the picture is
none with black people.
the little black
This
boy.
little black boy is basically that I got dressed
because
up like
you
a
know
girl.
why? Because I feel like every time I have one of these scandals with like a promotional something, is always like the little black boy to get a shot under the stick.
Coolest monkey in the jungle.
Exactly. That's when I see that. That's
even
exactly
look-
what I thought about.
I didn't even look at it that way. Can they have white people in the thing too?
No, it was literally a
There was
little
two
black boy
boys and two different princess
and
outfits.
one and then standing next to a white woman.
Exactly. Let you know.
Oh, the woman was white.
Yeah, but
But then, go ahead. Kid.
Like all these things, like
But-
it no need to be on social media. Like
I
you
don't.
say,
But that's the thing. I don't know. Like
I'm looking for it.
It just reminds me
The-
of Like not to switch topics or nothing, because it's kind of like related on the same, is in the same vein basically. But Dwayne Wade recently gave an interview, and some of what he said from this interview was being praised on a lot of blogs and whatnot, because it's so progressive and forward thinking, and he's so brave because he's taking his stance as his 12-year-old son is busy in the process of identifying as a she and whatnot. And
what?
Yeah, he called
Dwayne Wade was basically saying
his
how it's
son
like
she in that interview.
everybody else have the problem. It's not him that has the problem, because it's everybody else that's being intolerant or ignorant and these type of things. And it's like, my child knows who he is and is comfortable with, and he wants to paint his nails and do these types of stuff and identify as a she. So I think it was Alicia Keys as well, who was Alicia Keys?
Mm-hmm.
Who was saying about her son wanted to paint her nails or something like that recently, and how it's okay. Like, these things bother me just because of the age of the children. That's the only problem I have. If a child is gay or transgender or whatever it is, I have let them do whatever it is they're gonna do.
They can't be transgender.
Why not?
According to the people of nowadays, a child can identify as transgender from as young as 6 and all kind of crazy ages. I've seen.
Yeah, but
transgender, they go ahead and give them.
But that in the term specifically when you actually made the change.
No, that's
is when you don't identify as the sex you were assigned at birth.
Oh, okay.
Basically, so in these people's mind, if my 6-year-old is telling me I'm a she, I was born in the wrong body and whatnot, I need to now handle this person accordingly and treat them as a she.
Okay.
To be fair, it is easier on the transition the younger you start, though.
But that's
you got the hormone blockers and stuff like that.
That's what I was going to say as well.
And there's a lot of controversy around that.
Okay, no. Hormone blockers, I was going
like,
that far.
so you now throwing some stuff into somebody who isn't properly developed and finished developing, and you throwing stuff in it to disrupt their natural development the way it would go, to potentially take them into a different direction versus developing as a woman or a man, whether that might be like the sex organs and thing, that develop through puberty, the pubic hair and all of these changes that come with it. All of that those stuff is now being disrupted because of hormone blockers or hormone replacement therapy or whatever it is.
They don't. No. You can't get hormone replacement therapy until a certain age. The hormone blockers is basically to give them more time to figure out. You understand? So they don't start to grow hair. I don't know if you ever see I Am Jazz or whatever the show called.
I know of it.
I don't think so.
What is that?
Is like she got show on TLC, but basically she had started transition young, but she started off on the hormone blockers, and it was basically so it would give her more time until she was ready to transition, so she didn't have to go develop completely as a male, as in the facial hair and stuff like that. Other than that, she was pretty much, male, except
I don't know. I get that perspective as well. But the only thing is that is often not mentioned is that apparently, because I'm gonna be honest and say this, something I personally haven't looked into that deeply because it don't
affect you.
It's not that present for me to disprove or prove the trans community right or wrong, whether it's legit in their philosophy or not. But it's something that I've heard a lot of people say that usually in the conversation with transgender, the thing that's often not brought up is the amount of people who regret the transition later in life. When it's when you look at the long-term studies, yes, cool, you transition young and whatnot, but what happens when you get 30 or 40 and realize, well, it was more of just a phase and this type of thing, and I didn't really want, there is, apparently, I don't know the numbers and actual stats on it, but there's a reasonable amount of people who fall into this group that's
who did detransition.
Either that or they end up in depression or regret and all kind of thing because they did something and it's too late now and all of that.
But the problem is a lot of those people, because I watch a few documentaries and videos and stuff. My YouTube does get wild. I'm gonna be real with you. You know sometimes when you're watching a video and then you just end up somewhere and I end up here a lot. So basically from what I understand, a lot of people is detransition because when they transition, they're not satisfied with how they end up, and a lot of that has to do with when they transition too. So a lot of the people who tend to transition later, what is happening is they can't transition the way they wanted to. They still
very much either look like a man or a woman.
masculine, and then they kind of like now they're not satisfied because they wanted to be a woman or whatever, and then now it's kind of like
between,
they're still stuck in between because no matter what, they're not seen as that because they transition too late, and they still have, like, let's say if they transition into a woman, they still have too many masculine features, and I was kind of like, well, you might as well transition back because at this point you kind of like
that's
in between.
That's the crazy thing where it's like, you can never transition properly.
Exactly, it's like damned if you do and damned if you don't.
6 or something like that with this process to make sure stop whatever development in the opposite direction that you don't want to happen. Make sure you could stop that and then start it in the direction that you do want. Then it's like, how are you gonna be so sure, or like, what kind of certainty do you have that this is what you want? Being a young person, as like they talk about it all the time when it comes to like marijuana and drinking and stuff like that, how the brain isn't developed until 25 and the effects that this could have on it. But people don't think the same way when it comes to whatever hormone therapies or hormone blockers, like you say, people would be given at these young ages. Or just even the rationale that is like, is this person adult enough, rational enough, thinking long termly enough to be like, okay, you know, this is the right decision I want? Because
it also have to do with like fertility and stuff like that. But
like, we don't trust young people to drive, to drink, to do, to honestly, vote, all these type of things. But this is the thing we trust them with. Is like,
it's a tough subject. But honestly, I feel like it's kind of like to each your own type of thing, because I feel like every parent just trying to do what they feel is best for their child. And if you see your child and your child telling you something, and you could see that they very much unhappy with the way they are, like, at a certain point, like, you gonna have to like do something. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
it's I don't know about that.
But I just think
I get the point you're making, but I just mean more in the sense that
I think it's a decision that like every household just have to make for themselves, like what they gonna do about the situation.
I feel like Dwayne Wade and then people ain't got no choice because there's this celebrity, so any other answer is completely unacceptable. If Dwayne Wade came out and said, I don't approve of my son being identifying as a she at 12 because I made a son or something, the amount of backlash and cutting, like, ending brand endorsement deals and all of these things that he and Gabrielle Union potentially would face. Like, and the same thing for Alicia Keys and Swiss is like, once you are a celebrity in the public eye on a regular basis and stuff like that, there's one acceptable answer.
I mean,
that's basically it.
But
if you're not progressive, you're going to lose your brand. If you're going to get cancelled, you're going to lose your brand endorsements and shit like that.
I don't think so, man. I think if he had articulated properly, if he had come out and said, like, I don't approve of it, but I want my son to be happy, so I'll go with whatever he says, I think that would be acceptable as well.
Yeah.
That's still going along with the one answer that is acceptable. You have to agree with it.
No, but he doesn't agree with it. He just leaving his son do is his son's life, but he can still be against it.
And I'm sure, like, the backlash, the articles and stuff that would have come out would have been a whole lot different had he said that.
It would have, but I think it wouldn't have been such a cancel culture type something if he had articulated properly.
Because for me, like, that's my main thing. Whereas, like, if I were to have a gay son, I feel like I would be more cool with that. I ain't never buying my son a dress. Like, there will never be a moment where I feel comfortable if my son asks me for a dress that I'm going to buy him the dress. It's like, this is my money that I have to spend how I see fit. You still following my rules and whatnot. If you want to wear this dress when you're 18 and out of my house doing something else, cool, go through your thing. But me, I am never buying my son a dress.
But that's what I said, like, that is the type of something where,
but
like,
I'm not a famous celebrity that's not going to lose a brand endorsement or whatever, so I can speak freely and actually have this opinion. And that's why it's like, if you're doing Wade or anybody else, is like,
but like, you know, it is the type of thing. It's not like the only circumstance where parents have to make a decision like this now, because, like, I don't know if y'all know, like, but more people than you think are like intersex now. So as in suffer from like not suffer, but
hermaphroditism,
like, yeah,
or whatever
exactly
the phrase term is.
Yeah, and like, when you have
funny
a
that
child
people
as
that say these things
intersex,
and it's like, I went through my entire life, never having come across one.
But like,
I'm not
you
saying
think people
how would
I'm not
know?
saying it's not
like,
saying
it's not
true.
like people will come out and just be like, yo,
I have a dick and a vagina.
no, but you don't necessarily have to be both. No, like, you could also just be like genetically
There wasn't
female
properly
and
developed
present
and stuff like that. Sometimes.
So you can have,
sometimes you could
small
no.
vagina?
Sometimes you could it could happen different ways. You could have like I think both sets of chromosomes, so XX and XY. Sometimes you could have like XY, but then like so you genetically male but you physically female, or like you have like both. So you would have like testes, but also like a vagina. Like it's
There's
confusing. Yeah, it have different combinations of it, but.
My thing is, don't pretend to tell me that this is the norm, though. Yes, it
No,
might be a little
I understand,
more than
but what
I'd
I'm
expected,
saying
but
is
it's still not the norm, or like.
No, it's not the norm, but neither is like transgender. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not the only case where parents have to make that decision.
And they're both
and
minority situations, in my opinion. Like it's not something that every parent is going to deal with
of course
like
not.
that, because it's still not something that is. Okay, this is 1 in 2 people are transgender, or 1 in 2 people are homosexual, or whatever. It's like, I don't have the stats, but I'm willing to bet it's not those numbers. It's not like 50-50 in the amount of transgenders or intersex people you see out there. The vast majority of people are still either a man or a woman.
Okay, so
but that's what I'm saying, because both groups is like a very small percentage of people, like minorities, transgender, and like intersex. And that's why I'm saying, like when a parent has, the only difference is one is like genetic and the other one is like a mental thing, right? Like you transgender, you feel like
we don't. I feel like it'll be a little too early to say conclusively that it's just purely genetic.
No, I'm talking about
mental. I mean, like,
yeah.
Transgender, like.
No, but
do we know like the actual cause, if there's anything that might be like a chromosomal hormonal imbalance, or something that's different in the genetic makeup of, like, do we know for sure it's just something that's purely mental, is there no physiological like correlation to the mental?
I mean, I read a few articles on it concerning the development, because you know, like when a fetus is developed, everybody starts off female, and that was one of the theories too, is because like something in the developmental process is a little off, and then
didn't trigger the activation of the other chromosome or something like that.
But basically right now they ain't really got any physical proof, and like they could conclusively say something in the physiology is behind being transgender. So that's why I'm saying like right now,
I know intersex is more
intersex is like genetic, and but that what I'm saying is I drawing a comparison with that, as in either way the parent have to make a difficult decision. You understand what I'm saying? Because with the intersex too, you have to make a decision how you gonna raise your child, and oftentimes when a child is intersex, they have to take like hormone replacement, because if you could carry XY, because you could carry XY chromosome and have a vagina, and then what you gonna do? Then you have to give the child, like, you understand, you're gonna have to give them estrogen so they could develop.
But
so it's kind of like.
Again, I just wonder if like the way it's being handled in the mainstream is appropriate, in the sense like if it's still a rare situation that parents are faced with this. I'm not saying it shouldn't be covered, because you could make the same argument for black people and our representation stuff. Why we saying we would like to see black people on TV and all these types of things. So I do get the representation argument of showing trans people or showing homosexual, whatever. I get that, but I just wonder, like, the way it's kind of, I guess, overtaking the mainstream conversation, in a sense, is like every person is going to have a trans kid or an intersex kid or a homosexual kid or somebody on the LGBTQ spectrum. Like, it's just such a mainstream topic that I just wonder, like, is it really kind of justified in a way, or is it like appropriate?
I understand where you're coming from, but I don't necessarily see it like that's the reason behind of it. I more so see it as they're trying to get people to like be a little more open-minded and accepting, because I understand that. Imagine going to school as a transgender child, like, and you know your parents cool with it or whatever, but like the rest of your class ain't. and then like you go to school and you can't, for example, can't use the bathroom you want to use, or like the train like harassing you, pestering you. So maybe you have support at home, but then like you go to school or every other aspect of your life, you feel like shunned. So I get why they're trying to like talk about it, have an open conversation, because at the end of the day, like the more like we exposed to it, the more like we kind of like accept it, you know.
It makes sense.
So
like
that's why I think it's coming from.
Is it really worth it to go to these lengths to normalize something that really isn't that normal? In the sense, like, common, how frequently you might come across it and stuff.
Yeah,
I
because
understand.
human decency is supposed to be common, regardless of what form your is or not. Human decency is supposed to be common, and humans and people decide to not be decent when they see something different.
Exactly. I think it's exactly that reason why they're trying to normalize it so much, because it's not something you see every day, and then people don't know how to react to it.
It's not something you see every day, but one child being harassed or taken about it because of it is already too much.
I guess. Alrighty then.
I got a question. Hold on. All right. So, aside from what society tells us, right, when we was growing up and whatnot, what does a boy feel like? What does it? How does it feel to be a boy? How does it feel to be a woman? Aside from genitals and what is placed in your mind from society.
This was a question that we asked on the podcast along, like in one of our early discussions on homosexuality and all that. It was a question I remember asking the people, because I was literally like, I'm a man. I can't tell you what it feels like necessarily to be a man. I can tell you what it feels like to be me, or like I know how to be me. I know whether it's a boy or a man, whatever age you want to look at it. Like, I don't recall ever choosing to like girls or anything like that. It's just that this is how I am, and if I were to articulate, so for you to say I feel like a woman or I feel like a man, I personally don't necessarily understand it, because I don't know what I'm feeling like a man or feeling like a woman is supposed to feel like. On top of the fact that all of this is supposed to be social constructs according to a lot of social studies theories, like gender studies theory and whatnot. It's all social constructs anyway, so it's like, what are you defining as feeling like a man or feeling like a woman? The fact that you like pink, or the fact that you rather sew or stitch than maybe, I don't know, play baseball or something? Yeah, like,
I think it's more so like things that are normally associated with femininity versus things that are not. Exactly.
That's where we break it down gender roles and saying it's perfectly fine for a masculine woman or a woman that likes to if she wants to join the army or do a typically male profession, like all of that is perfectly fine under feminism and the whole guise of breaking down gender roles. And that's why it's confusing with this whole transgender thing, when it's like you saying you feel like a man or you feel like a woman. I thought you were just telling me that this thing is a social construct and it's all made up. We decided that blue is for boys. We decided that an engineer is a male profession, or like all of this is stuff that we created. So what does it mean to feel like a man or a woman?
So you don't feel like a man?
I don't know. Honestly.
Okay.
I feel like me. I feel like Gary. Like, I can't tell you but what the experience of anybody else is like for me to say that this is feeling like a man.
Okay.
I assume I feel like a man because I'm
going to rephrase it. Do you feel like a woman?
He can say answer.
No, but I mean, like, if you definitely...
Yes.
Like,
in a way, yes, because I like, depending on who you ask, I got certain like female tendencies or things that I like to do. Like my hobbies and interests are more like typically female in certain ways. I'm interested in the arts and these type of things versus, I used to play sports as well, but I used to play volleyball, typically something that's generally considered like a female sport and whatnot. Like, in some ways, I could definitely be categorized as like, I don't know, maybe a metrosexual or something. Like, I don't know if I care about fashion enough to be metrosexual, but
metrosexual is more like self-care type shit.
I have no idea.
In touch with your feminine side and stuff like that.
But that also a social construct, because women are quote unquote care more about their appearances and stuff like that. But as
'Cause that's just where my frustrations has come with this whole transgender / the whole break. To me, it's like, what are we doing? Are we breaking down gender roles and deciding that, it's okay for men to be vulnerable and it's okay for women to be stern or aggressive or whatever? Is this what we're doing, and is this the plan? Or
I mean, I think
to me it can be both.
I understand what you.
Each other.
I know, I understand what you're saying, but I think we still live in a society where like you're forced to pick one or the other.
True.
Like you can't just, because if you gonna say, oh, I everybody don't make fun of non-binary people. Let me be real. Like the way the pronouns they, them, their, or whatever.
Yeah, cause the shit is ridiculous.
Exactly. So then if people
what was wrong with shit? To me, that makes a lot more sense than so now I gotta make a grammatically incorrect sentence.
It's not grammatically incorrect.
I gotta describe one person as they.
You can, because if you think about it, when somebody tell you like, oh, I bring in a friend to the party, and you don't know the gender of the friend, you automatically go into that without even thinking about it. So if I say, oh,
tell your friend, tell them.
Yeah, exactly. What time they come in, or stuff like that. You understand? When you don't know the gender of a person, you automatically fall into that. Without even thinking about it.
I guess to some degree.
I mean, but everybody
but
think.
I said they go automatic now.
No, but like everybody think that's ridiculous. So like we still live in a time where you forced to choose one or the other. So I still understand like you transgender because you feel like you have to conform one way or the other. And if you say that, like, growing up, I ain't never feel like a boy, I want to wear a dress, paint my nails, I like girl shows, whatever, then now you feel like a girl. So, yeah, I feel like is how
this is just the result of how society is.
Yeah,
essentially.
But also, I feel like adults will make a bigger deal out of this than kids now, because kids don't give a shit. Like children
Until
literally
they're told to give a shit.
Yeah, they really don't give a shit.
Yeah, but then adults give a shit because certain adults have had either bad experiences, or they heard about bad experiences, or they seen shit on TV.
No,
to me, children don't do shit but want to play. In general, a children's goal in life is to play.
Yeah.
Children's whatever. Adults' job is to rein that in, basically, because if you leave it up to children, they will just play video games or go and watch videos on YouTube. Whatever that child enjoys doing, that child just wants to do that without end. Like if the child likes running and like playing, like the child just wants to do that all day. Like children don't have no concept of long-term thinking.
Yeah,
that's why I feel like parents are not supposed to encourage this type of thing, because a parent should have the forethought or foresight potentially to see, okay, this might be some negative consequences or repercussions of going down this path or doing this activity or whatever. So I'm going to stop you from doing that, or I'm going to impose limits on you. Like you have a bedtime. You don't spend all day on the computer. Like these limits and stuff that parents set on children, they have to, because a child will never set it themselves. They don't understand what comes from the actions, like the repercussions of their actions. They don't have no concept of understanding those things yet.
It got to be a balance.
Yeah,
I believe at least just like how they say with everything else, it gotta be a balance. At one point, you gotta leave the child be the child, but at the same time, just like King was saying, what potentially going to happen if you continue leaving this happen. If you leave them sit too much in front of the TV, their eyes gonna go get fucked. If you
let them put the fork inside the electrical outlet,
they don't get shocked. Then they could dead. You could have no more child. So I mean, like it is for a lot of this for their own benefit. But the thing is, with this whole progressive thing, a lot of people, especially with social media, they want to force it not only on other people, and this might kind of seem like I'm contradicting the statement I was saying that like nobody should be prosecuted and stuff like children at least. But then if you're gonna put it on social media, to me the ones that are putting it on social media, they're forcing it on everybody else. Okay, cool. Granted, if you put it out there, people see it more. Like I was saying, it might seem like a contradicting my statement. But
I mean, two things could be true. It could be doing both.
That as well. So it's like it is. People like everybody have to be treated fairly. At least I believe so. At least, regardless of what you do in your own personal time. But at the same time, they gonna have, just like how you for it, they have other people that's against it, and that's their belief as well. Like, they're entitled to have that belief. Not everybody is supposed to believe or agree with what the fuck you think and what you believe. So that pushing that on them as well, to me, that's almost just as bad as them being restricted.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but like, okay, but at the same time, I feel like everybody's entitled, like everybody is post about their life on social media, you understand what I'm saying? So like, transgender people shouldn't do it because they're gonna offend other people. Like, you know what, you understand what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
Because
no,
like,
I'm talking about the kids though. I'm talking about the kids.
I understand what you're saying, but everybody that post the children, whatever they dress up as,
Have you ever
and
do you have any baby mamas on your social media? Like, forget
and
what
it's
they
just,
look like.
Yeah, but I don't have no baby
Babies be
mamas
having
dressing
their
up their
own
sons
channel-
in dresses either.
yeah, see, but that's the thing. You making a big deal out of it when a child just feel like the child is dressing up,
No,
and
but
it's just like,
I'm not making a big deal out of it. I think I saying like what King was saying, putting it on social media. Okay, cool. It might be forced. I was more okay, cool. You was right. I was more focusing on the fact that you're putting it on, like you forcing it on other people. But what I also meant by that is you putting the child out there to get those repercussions without them having anything about it. So okay, cool. If the child wants to wear dresses and stuff like that, leave them do it at home, or leave them do it in the comfort where you could watch them and where you could think like that. When they go outside, that's when you'll get interaction with other ignorant people and people who don't understand that. But the child don't understand that. So you putting your child out on social media is you potentially giving your child the opportunity to get that bullying.
I understand what you're saying,
I do
but
see why you, like, as a parent, like, what kind of message do you send in? Like, let's say you have a transgender child. Do you be like, okay, cool, you could just dress this way in the house, but we won't, like, so you can just stay in the house?
yeah.
Like,
not just stay in the
I get
house.
where you're coming from,
But just not on social media.
No, I understand what you're saying, but imagine how the child will feel.
But at some point, how is that realistic in a way? Like,
Yeah.
for example,
At 6 years old, okay, no.
let's say I'm taking a Christmas something as simple as family Christmas cards or something, or the Christmas picture. That's something that's very normal that might go on social media or whatever. If your child is wearing a dress in this picture or something, if your boy child is wearing a dress in this picture, what the fuck do you do in that moment?
But
do you not send the picture because your child is wearing a dress, or like?
Yeah.
Do you crop him out of the picture because you're trying to protect him from potential backlash? Like, I get
And
where
look,
you're coming from, but it's just not a realistic.
It's not realistic.
I don't know.
thing to try to deal with.
Nah, me personally, how I would do with my child, like, you could do whatever you want, but I wouldn't be posting that on social media until I find he or she is old enough to get their own social media account, and when they want, and if they choose to put that out there themselves, then I would do the same.
So
because
then let me
then
ask this, in general, for a straight child, do you plan to post any pictures of your straight
That's
child
the thing.
on
No.
social media?
No.
Then
Okay,
I understand.
then it's
I could
okay.
see
Then-
the logic,
No.
the ration, the consistency in your logic.
Then
in
you're
that
consistent.
Because then to me, then it's just okay. You uncomfortable posting children on social media.
Period.
Then I could understand that. Okay.
But keep in mind, Dwayne Wade's son, like, if we're talking about...
No, but
he like
that's a
12.
different case. No, that's a different
But
case.
he like 12, and he was in a pride parade and had his...
He making his own decision,
Yeah,
and
that's why I say.
that's something else. But when you talking about, you was also talking about ages like
12,
6 and shit like
I
that.
feel like 12 is old
No,
enough,
but I
like, you
wasn't
still living in my house.
I wasn't talking about posting them on the, like I said, like, everybody gotta make their own decision. Like, I wouldn't mind my child being in the house. Like, if my child want to dress up as a whatever, like, the young, they want to be what they want to be. Like, it ain't a big deal. It's
I
just
ask a lot
like,
of questions. I mean, I might be okay with it, but I'd be like, you sure? I'd be like, why? Explain to me why. I just try
it
to
could be just
see
a
why.
simple thing like they like a show, they like a character, and like you just put in a lot of thought into it when a child just checking like, oh, I like a character. And that's why it's like, yeah.
Nah, but I believe they got psychological reasons for it. Like, they like the specific character for a reason, or they like just somebody dresses for it. Like, you like the draft, you like the breeze, you like to be free. Like, what is it about the dress that you really like? I just trying to understand.
Maybe they think they dress pretty and they want to wear it. They want to look pretty too.
I mean, if they tell me that, all right, do you think boo boo? But I mean,
Listen,
I just trying to find out why.
I definitely do recall, like,
dresses be kind of comfortable, or you don't know, like when they're not tight.
I'm gonna
I
take your
definitely
word for
don't
it.
know.
Would not
You're right.
know.
I
Yeah, I'll take
definitely
your word
don't
for
know.
it.
Yeah, Like, because sometimes, you know, when you don't feel like putting on pants, well, at least but
No, we don't know.
are your pants like baggy? My pants will be tight.
Yeah.
So
I can't relate.
I don't.
But the one thing
But
that
like-
I'll say on this topic in a way though is like, not to cut you off, Kalissa, I apologize.
no problem.
But
Go through.
I just recall, like, it was weird seeing, like, my family went on cruises, like, when he was really younger and whatnot, and we had some home videos and whatnot. And, like, at a later age, looking back at some of those, like, my brother was gay from super young.
But you see that
Like, it was, like, as an
wanted
adult,
to say that. I
he
wanted
was
to
my
say that
older
earlier.
brother. He was my older brother. So, as a child, it's shit that I never noticed. I didn't know shit about what was gay and homosexual, like, growing up until I got to, like, maybe high school and stuff like that.
Yeah, you
I
know.
started to understand
but
these
I
things.
too.
But looking back, my brother was obviously gay, or, like, had, like, feminine tendencies in the way he would do things and say things or whatever. And he was maybe 6, 7, 8. Like, that's why I just think on sometimes when I look back on, when I think about all these trans issues and...
But what I was
But-
going to say when I was on that was the fact that if you look at a lot of the serious trans ones, the ones that transitioned early, that knew they was in a different body according to their terms from early and was cool with it and thing with it, the ones who stick with it, they did realize that if you ask, okay, well, from the interviews that I've seen from them, the few of them that sing, they have realized that they was gay since like 6.
Yeah.
Or they had
said
this
all
feeling
their life,
since 6.
all
So
their life they had
granted,
feelings
it
with
is true what you say. They had a lot of ones that what you were saying earlier, King. They had a lot of them that they regret the transition earlier, but a lot of them the real. What I would call the real deal.
Hardcore.
Yeah, not a hardcore, can I make it seem like extremists, but like the real ones who really serious about this whole I don't feel like I in the right body type something. Almost all I can say all the interviews that I've seen with them at least, all of them had that identification from young.
Yeah, like, they
So it's
see, like,
legit a
all their life
balance.
from the first memory and
It's legit a fine balance between letting your child be themselves or what we consider as themselves and still guiding them to be like, all right, you most probably don't know what you want yet. So that the only way about that I see about going with it is the fact that just expose them to as many things as possible.
I just think, like,
Because there is not, when I mean expose, I mean get them a little see, like, look, this is this person, this is that type of person. They have this culture, they have that culture.
Yeah.
More knowledge. Let me put it that way. Now let me just like extra exposure because that people come up. Yeah, we get exposed to this and
That's not what you said.
and
That's not
all
what
that kind
you
of crap. So
Educate.
more knowledge of different people and different cultures and different backgrounds, and then from there, I believe once they have a more concrete foundation of what they could be able to decide for themselves what they feel like they are. And I think that's a fine line. I go as a parent or as a potential parent, I would want to tread between still leaving them do their own thing and somewhat guiding them.
Alright, so you spend way too much time on this topic.
Bye.
I was gonna leave out. You continue.
We're on you 40 minutes in on just one topic, basically.
Yeah.
bye.
Well, me, we did kind of mix some things in there as well, because we did, well, not really.
Bye. We making this one shot?
Oh, mama.
Let's touch on one more topic.
One more.
So, Lizzo, and this tongue
Bye.
thing, this tongue situation.
Let me just make sure. I believe I heard this on another podcast. Just for context, this is
Lizzo
where one
went to
girl
the-
wear a tongue to NBA and everybody was
went
all.
to
Yep.
a Lakers game, if I remember correctly.
And then they had panned to her, like they put her on the big screen, and then she turned around and she started
was
twerking.
twerking and whatnot.
But let me explain. It wasn't like she had on. It wasn't like
It was
she
a
just had
big-ass
on
t-shirt with a hole
with a
cut
whole
in
cut.
the ass area.
So like she had on a shirt, and like her whole ass was just bare, and then she had on a black tongue, and then that's how she pulled up to the NBA game. And then they pan to her and she twerk, and then everybody lose their shit because they was like, oh, the children, and that was the whole scandal behind of it. And Lizzo response was
Stupid.
Oh, I feel like we should very much mention that her response was that she feel like people get on because of her
Intentionally missing the
size.
point. her response was intentionally missing the point,
Wait, what
so
she
I could
say?
try to paint myself
She-
as a
because she's
victim.
fat?
She said it was because she
y'all
fat.
unhappy
Because
with my
she said
existence. Y'all not comfortable with seeing a big woman
Be comfortable
said-
in her
like
fatness.
this and all
They
of this.
said
Sean,
she
stop.
was-
That's where y'all
In her
hating this come
bigness.
from.
Hasn't people been praising
No.
her for being so confident and being that size? Like,
no, but
Yeah, but what she missing is not the fact that she's confident with her body. It's the environment.
no, but part of her response was she said that other stars just go there half naked
No, they
too
don't.
and have their ass out and thing, and she had referenced Rihanna and thing.
And no, they don't.
And to
that's
be
the-
honest with you, when she referenced, I think she had referenced Rihanna, and I
Rihanna
was
be
like,
naked. Other celebrities be naked on stage.
I
or
gonna
in
be
a
real
club or
honest
in
with
a
you, when
music
she said
video,
out, when she
but
said
Rihanna
out.
wears like Joe, but did a
Exactly.
whole long deep dive on this particular topic. Saying
Exactly, when
all
she-
the other people you could think of that do dress like that in a Lakers game or if they go into an NBA game in general,
Yeah, no,
they wear clothes.
not NBA game now. If
Yeah.
Rihanna just said that, it would be like some kind of fashion something.
Yeah,
some kind of
because-
like
Met
photo.
Gala or
Oh,
on
yeah,
stage
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
performing.
when
Let's
she
do- or her
said
own
it,
party or
when
club or
she
some
said
shit
it,
like
when
that.
she said it, I was thinking back on all the pictures, cause like I ain't gonna lie, I kind of a fan of Rihanna and thing, and you know when I see a picture, I don't understand how it is Rihanna always look good as fuck. Like I gonna be real with y'all. So like when I picture Rihanna come out, I seen probably most of the pictures out there of Rihanna at NBA games, and I don't ever recall Rihanna wearing anything out of pocket. Like Rihanna just go there looking like a normal person.
Beyonce, all of them.
She does,
Because Beyonce
yeah,
also,
did a-
as a performer,
did a pull-up
she, like, scantily
in
clad a lot.
jeans and a shirt, and
time and place for everything. yo.
I ain't gonna lie,
Exactly.
on stage, even on stage, I don't really find Rihanna to be too naked or nothing, but like,
Cause you just see her naked everywhere else. So when she on stage,
what do you
it'll
mean?
be like,
When
alright,
should it be?
cool.
The only no,
Like,
the only time was the see-through
Rihanna-
dress.
No, don't do that. Don't
It's
do that.
like
Do
one
not-
of the
do not-
only
What she
times.
said?
Do not
What she
do
said?
that.
One
Do
of the
not say
only
that.
times that
Do
she
not say
really
that.
went.
Do not say that.
But like,
Rihanna in particular,
Go fuck her.
everybody has seen Rihanna's breasts.
oh yeah, on
Unapologetic.
IG and thing.
No, but what the
Rihanna-
fuck?
like-
But if
Rihanna
she
is
posts it on
often-
IG, if she's
Rihanna
not
is
taking it in
often
other
not
places.
clothed. Rihanna
No,
is
but like
often
if you
not
no,
clothed.
I talking
Like,
about
not-
at like events and thing. Rihanna, no, stop it. Are you
Lakers games,
stop?
I agree with you. If you're talking about basketball games and stuff like
But
that, I
I
agree with
talking
you.
about
But in
like
general,
Met Gala stuff
in
like
general,
that.
we've
Red
seen Rihanna-
carpet.
But don't say like Rihanna always wearing clothes.
No,
like, we've
but,
seen
like-
Rihanna's boobs and ass and like
Yeah,
the
but,
nude
like-
photo shoots or the barely covering like we've
But-
I stopped.
all
But
the
red-
music
but
videos.
red
Have you seen the video
carpets-
for work and pour it up and
You
like,
talking about me? I talking about like red carpets,
Red
and
carpets
events.
as well, yes. The music awards and them like ones where she also roll up there half naked. Did you see that home girl have
Are you-
3-4
are you-
different outfits in one night? Now don't forget Anna.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about on stage and perform. I talking
No,
about the
at
red
rolling
carpet
up at
walk.
the red carpet.
Kalissa, I agree
Her
with your
most
point.
iconic looks is always like she had the one with the big flowers all over, covered head to toe. She was. Then she had a big yellow dress. Then she had a big pink dress. I don't know what are you talking about. Are you don't watch Rihanna later? Are you only the most like the ones that
Okay, so let
everybody
me ask
does
you a
get a
question.
lot
Let
of
me ask you a
attention is
question,
the
Kalissa.
sheer
Let me-
dress she had
So
with.
let me ask you a question, Kalissa.
Okay.
When you think in terms of celebrities, like modern pop culture celebrities who are people that is like
Who to
often
be half
scantily clad, who
naked?
is like the top of the list? Does Rihanna not literally be like one of the first people that comes to, because
Nobody.
of how often her boobs are out in particular, because she never wearing a bra? Like, and this is not just like, I'm not saying that this is the equivalent to Lizzo and exposing them, because to me it's a different thing. But Rihanna and her topless or her bralessness in particular is something that we've seen in many a paparazzi photo where she's just going down the road somewhere. Like, I don't understand how where your perception
I don't
of Rihanna
really-
is
I don't
coming
really-
from
I don't
compared to
really-
like.
But like the pictures,
I respect you for still going. Can you see her stuff?
yeah, but
Cause
no
like,
man, I don't.
Rihanna is
I
top
really
of the
don't-
list in nudity. Like, we didn't need Rihanna's leaks to come out because we've already seen Rihanna naked. She gave it up. That's the like. I forget which
I
photo
don't-
shoots it was in some some European country and stuff where she was on some balcony and whatnot. So long ago, Rihanna gave us all the goodies. I don't know where the
But it's
defense of
not-
Rihanna is coming
but
from.
I feel like
agree.
also-
Yeah, she wears it in general in locations that are appropriate because
Is
it's
she
a
more
photo
classy
shoot.
about it? Yes, but are they still exposed? Yes, as well.
Thank you, Kana. Thank
but
you, Kana.
I know, but like on the top, I wouldn't say that Rihanna would be on my top list for
Who
nude
tops it
cele-
then?
Who the fuck?
Who does
It
it
got-
then? If it's not Rihanna, who tops it?
Name two.
You're gonna say Kim
Like
Kardashian?
I was gonna say Kim and Miley because they'll be out here like real reckless.
I give
but
you
have
Kim.
like no, but Miley does.
I give you Kim. Nobody
Do
tried
you
to
know
see
what
Miley.
the thing is? Exactly. It's because the girls with like less body or whatever, like they don't really give a shit. Like people don't give a shit if they see. First of all, y'all talk about Kendall too. Never got on a bra. Everybody done see Kendall.
I don't know
hold
what
it.
Kendall look like.
What?
Like I know what Kendall, and even that I'm not positive because I've seen different pictures in different times. It's like apparently she looks like a completely different person.
No, but I would
she's
say
out
different
of
with,
season with the
Kendall because
fillers and all
Kendall is
of
a
that.
professional model. Rihanna ain't necessary. Rihanna have her own shit.
Yeah,
she does
but-
modeling, yes, but Kendall would more have those things in her repertoire.
No, but I talking about on a regular basis walking on the street. Kendall don't wear a bra and she just walk around and see she true
Because
shirt.
she don't need one. She has no master sag. She needs no support. She hardly have tits. What she need
I talking about shell clothes. Like Kendall just walk around in shell clothes a lot.
maybe I don't pay attention to her.
But that's what
you
I
know.
tell. Like Rihanna, I feel like the ones
But I
that
don't pay
y'all don't
attention-
really see
but I don't pay
is
attention
the ones
I don't
where
pay
she
attention
like.
to Rihanna either,
All
and
right,
I still see that.
so let me ask a question. Do y'all feel that Lizzo was out of pocket or not?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, back to the
100%.
top.
Okay then.
I feel like she was out of pocket.
Because
I
of the
agree
setting
on
she
that.
was.
Because of the
setting
setting.
she was in. If she
Because of
was-
the
If she
setting.
was doing that, if she was performing, that's something different.
Also, I just feel like, to be
Jesus
honest
Christ.
with you, if she had put on stockings, it would have been a different story. Like it would have been it wouldn't have been as big of a deal.
But this shit just nasty as well. This is a public seat and your bare ass on a
Your
public
bare
seat.
ass, like how I wouldn't even.
You be sitting there for a while, so you know you're sweating.
Yeah,
Yeah, like-
I wouldn't put my bare ass
look.
on a
Many
seat.
levels, the shit was just
Like
wrong.
bare ass, no.
And Lizzo wants to
Just
get
raw ass?
Just because you might feel that way, I'm sure there's a lot of people that would love to sit down wherever Rihanna or Kim or Beyonce put their bare ass. So it all depends on who it is we're talking about.
You got people
Let's-
out there
let's be
buying
real.
bath water and
No,
shit.
I-
We have people buying jars of ale, okay? Let me
Listen.
not get into that again.
I'm not talking about for other people. I talking about for her. Like how you gonna just sit down on a seat that God knows who sit down on
each their own,
with
eh?
your bare ass.
To each
I
their
feel
own.
like that's wild.
I'm glad
Sis
we
coulda
all
put on
agree that she was
stockings.
out of pocket. Like
Yeah.
stockings,
I feel like that
it
would
might
have
have helped.
That'd
Might
be
have
less
had
of an
the
But it would
shot,
have
outrage.
but-
still been a mess.
it would have
Like,
still been a mess, but it would have been a better
If she, at least,
situation.
if she had thick stockings that like a legging basically, then it was then I could agree. But like
Or
But
like
part
if,
of the outrage must
or
also
if
be the
the-
way she reacted.
if the
yes,
tongue
because she's intentionally missing the point so she could paint herself as the victim and make everybody else seem like they fat shaming.
I
Intentionally
feel like
missing the
even
criticisms.
if she could have even do that if she had on like a different cut underwear. I feel like the tongue was really overkill. Like it was really, really uncalled for.
To me, it was just a bad look in general. Kinda
Like that's the thing. It wasn't even cute.
T-shirt and just a whole like it wasn't a good look in no way.
Yeah, like to be honest, I'd be feeling the oversized t-shirt with tie-high boots. I feel like that's a cute look or whatever. But I don't understand why you had to cut out the circle for me. Like personally,
Intentionally done.
It looked
For-
like she went and get a sheet. Like she,
for me, it just first of all, even when you do that, when you take a shirt, a normal t-shirt,
Those look
and
like
you
home
take
clothes.
and then you take out fabric, what has happened is the t-shirt does expand more. So like now it just it look extra oversized and it fitting all wrong in all places. I don't understand it.
like Liz,
I
like,
really don't.
That's the way that. Like some of my aunts and thing, like when they home and that's the way they dress. They just wear like a big t-shirt
Yeah.
and no like pants or whatever. That's what.
Yeah.
And
That'll be it
It's
for you.
like-
I tell
it's
you,
not a
pants
good
is
look.
uncomfortable.
it's not a good look. Y'all pants, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Like I never wear them, so I can't say it like from experience, but they don't look comfortable.
You know what the thing is?
I can't
like,
imagine them being
let
comfortable.
me just put this out there because I feel like this is something we really need to bring attention to. I don't appreciate that girl pants only have one fucking size. So
How do they only have one size?
because y'all have length and width. We just have one ambiguous ass number on the pants, and another thing is, I don't understand how I could be a different size in every single fucking pair of pants I pick up.
That depends, though.
No,
doesn't mean like I get where you're coming from.
It's fucking
like,
annoying.
Generally, like with jeans, with like male jeans and stuff, it'll be like 32, 36 hours.
Yeah, we just have like one number. I don't even know what a number for. Really? Because some pants...
But these, like, sweatpants and other type of things be just as ambiguous and shit. Because I recently had some pants that was telling me it's a 50, and I'm like, oh, what? like, what does this one number mean? And it's like, I had to look it up to see,
At
like,
least,
it was a breakdown or some combination of two different numbers, and this is the average or some shit. Like,
Not even the
but
letters,
for something like
understand.
sweatpants, it makes sense, right? Because, like, sweatpants, it got a lot of room, ain't really a problem, and it got drawstring. I mean... Jeans is a fucking problem though. And the next thing, why we ain't got no fucking pockets? I want somebody to do something about this.
Like, I don't want y'all.
I really need pockets.
Wait, hold on. Why you don't want them have pockets for?
You don't need no back pockets. Maybe other pockets they could have, but no back pockets.
And
female jeans, in my opinion, female jeans look terrible with back pockets.
But that's the thing.
The ass always looks better with no pockets.
Female jeans, the front pockets will always be fake, like this one, and then the back pockets will be real. I'd be like, why? Could we not? Can we not do something about this? But for real, jeans having one size one size for females is a problem.
That's what I felt about my like blazer for gala. Like they had just had fake. There wasn't no real pockets in my blazer for gala.
Yeah, no, you know how I feel, no?
It was illusion. Now I was trying to put my hand. And being lied to.
Yep. It'll be like that.
False advertisement.
I probably.
Online.
I ain't gonna even lie. I probably got one pair of jeans with like real front pockets.
Alright, I think our conversation can die now. Either we change topics to go like one more.
Bye.
Or how we start wrapping up, kind of maybe 55 minutes in.
Yeah, let me start wrapping up.
Well, guys, been nice. Have a nice Christmas. Fijne feestdagen nog.
We ain't seen nothing about Christmas for you, but.
But yeah.
So what y'all doing for Christmas?
Not
a damn thing. I probably play him some Aruban music. You know, maybe making it feel a little like home or whatever.
Making Johnny
I
cake?
might. Bye.
That's another thing.
You know what?
Christmas coming.
I could make Johnny cake and all, but I feel like we talked about this before. I hate disposing oil.
Yeah.
And so, to be honest with you, for me, it ain't even worth it.
Christmas coming.
Bye.
And New Year's coming.
But I gonna play the
I think we should end before King continue to sing.
The real OG. The real OG tunes. Con mi burrito habanero.
Okay,
I don't know none of them tunes.
You don't know for our?
If I hear it, I might know. Another one for New Year's, I think.
Papimento Christmas different. I don't know about Papimento
That ain't even
Christmas.
Papimento. That's Spanish. But it was like a big...
Yeah.
And people do things different over
I know Feliz Navidad. That's as far as it goes.
I also got one in Papimento that's a real OG like Christmas song. When I used to go church, because church was in Papimento. Even though I'm not really sure what a man used to be saying now, to be real with you. Like, yo, he could have. You could have tell me.
That was church in English for me when I was younger.
But yeah, but it had one.
I agree, but that's because I was playing Pokemon. Like I was at my game.
At least he could have break yours.
In church?
My mother would have given me mine. Stop playing that thing.
Nah,
your gold and silver back in the day.
Your parents were soft.
But you could have given me in church every Sunday.
I was getting in church. That was the only way.
I wish my mother would have bred me with this.
Yeah, that's how it went. If you want me in church, at least give me something to do to entertain me while I'm there.
I always used to feel so long back then.
Yo, the best part was when everybody was going for the body and for the body.
Because that's when you know it almost done.
Bread and juice. That's what we waiting for. Bread and juice. We halfway there. We can survive.
I used to be in a bit. I used to be like, what is taking so... This is the longest of my life. I can't even imagine going like Methodist church in Aruba because that thing don't have a time to end on time.
You talking about the hour? I'm like, what church are you was going? Like my church was
Catholic.
My church was a lot longer than an hour. Like
Catholic.
the entire service I think was a lot longer than an hour.
That's like Methodist church in Aruba.
I used to go watch my college.
What?
I've been to a church that was like 7 hours.
Methodist church in Aruba don't have a time to start and don't have a time to end. I had one time my friend Natalie went on Methodist church on Mother's Day because her mother Methodist and her father Catholic, so they just switched church. She's like, yeah, she was on. She started snapping me. She was like, girl, I've been in this bitch from like 7 o'clock. She like, look at the time. I like, girl, this still going. Then she sent me another snap. She was like, I think we finally leaving. She was like, we leaving. This still going. She was in there for hours. I was like,
They don't have to call me a
And
heathen.
that's how the church was I used to go to, the Bells Church in Colby. I don't know if y'all familiar. The Bells brothers from Ebenezer and thing. You know, you probably know some of the people them.
bye.
Not the Bells family.
No,
Don't let them
only
up
two
in Holland
churches.
and
Only
thing.
two churches I used to ever go was in Simpson Bay and St. Peter's there.
Colby. Close to Simpson Bay.
Sorry word for me.
It depends on which part of Colby.
I never went to that one. And I went to no church that was actually close by thinking about it. Like, I live Ebenezer. I never went to a church in the Ebenezer, St. Peter's, Soderward area.
Why?
Why you
Wait,
went so
I
far?
guess your mother had like the other churches in the priest and shit.
Yeah, it was like my mother. I think it was like my grandmother's decision, and that was just my grandmother's church. And as a
Okay.
result, like it was my mother's church, so then we just went to that church as well.
Thank God my mother was the type after a while she was like, okay, you and your sister do your communion.
Boy.
Like I
Or
was
you don't
happy.
have to, or you don't have to go to church
As
no more.
soon as my mother stopped forcing me to go to
confirmation?
church, I stopped.
Come for who?
I never did none of that. I don't know.
I think I had went
communion
for
or
it, but for some
confirmation.
reason I just decided to say fuck it and I didn't do it again.
School
I
used
didn't
to
do my
force
confirmation
people to
either.
go to
They
church,
could
yo.
force my
Like, I don't
ass.
even know what I
I went to
confirm
a
in
side
or.
Christian school. I mean,
All the schools there, like, majority of them be Catholic or something.
true.
He was
I,
a Christian
but I think it would have
school,
been.
or Sister Martha was
I
a
think I would
Catholic
have a lot of
school.
problems if I had to go to a Catholic school. But I think I would have some issues. 'Cause I would have to force.
Like there was a lot of stuff that, like as I got older, I kind of realized, and like I forgot a lot of shit that I learned and was indoctrinated in as I was growing up. And like when I just think back on certain things, I realized like, yeah, this because in assembly or whatever, we forced us to sing this prayer or this song or whatever it is, and it's like that's where I know this shit from. Like
But you know, that's why-
kind of be like clicking in.
That's for real wild, because like I went back to church after like a
Like,
bunch
how
of
it was closer.
years.
And you find yourself singing
Bye.
along to everything, like you
No,
just know
not
all the
even
words.
singing. It had like prayers in papiamento. Like, first of all, these prayers just include words in papiamento that I don't even know the meaning of. But like I could still recite these prayers. I don't even know like why or how. I think my school back in the day used to go to church every Monday or some shit like that.
Like
Because
John
church
Tree.
is
Like, my
nothing but
bosses.
a modern day, not modern day, thing.
Oh, but like
How
my
you say when something
you're trying to say
not,
cult again?
not pop culture, but when a mainstream cult.
Oh. Whoa.
That's all church is.
But like my boss's hole had like a church in like in the yard. It's like in the, so it was like
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we used to line up. I don't know if y'all had to do. You had to line up in front of the
inside the
class,
class and
outside.
then, yeah.
Well, we used to do that, and then we used to have to walk to the church, and then we'd sit in rows because I went to
that's
a
like
school
some
called
people.
Santa Teresita, and it was Teresita Church right there.
Saint Teresa.
Yeah.
That's like
Some
St.
man-
Dominic
man, they couldn't
people,
have-
because St. Dominic people, I would always from MPC, I'd always see all the St. Dominic kids walking
Very
out to go to
true.
the church there
Yeah.
in Saudi Wad.
Some other people
So-
couldn't have no church in the public school. Them children would have gone fuck in the church.
But I ain't gonna lie, my school was ratchet as fuck. It used to like, because they didn't have no it wasn't gated, so like, and the location, sometimes they used to have like cholers that used to come in, shit in the classrooms. It was
Jesus.
wild. It was wild. Like it had times school get cancelled because we walk in and it had like a choler sleeping on the floor and shit in the car. I was like,
What
what
the
going on?
That's
Windows used to be
crazy.
broken. We used to get robbed all the time.
As much as I
All
love
the time.
hearing these stories about Aruba,
He gotta go.
I need to
He
make
checking
mistakes.
like,
So-
okay, well, been real guys.
Yeah, we have a
Hope are you enjoying the
holidays?
holidays?
Yes, this
All
gonna
that
come
good
out
shit.
Thursday, so there's gonna be the day after Christmas and thing. So I hope you enjoy. You ate well and all of those things on your Christmas holiday.
No, I
by the
ain't hope
time
you
you're
eat
watching
shit because
it.
I ain't
Send us
eating none of your
some.
foods.
Yeah.
They probably gonna cook out Taste Bazaar or
I
some shit
wish
for
you no
myself.
well wishes. No,
Oh,
nobody.
Toys Bazaar gonna be open?
I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out tomorrow.
Bye. I got food in my fridge
I
though.
have food in case to cook.
That's
but
good,
I
that's
mean,
good, that's good.
I probably gonna end up Taste Bazaar working some shit tomorrow if it's open, if it's an option. But
Some things gonna be open, man.
enjoy the Christmas holidays. I don't know when we're gonna record the next one, if it can come out in time for New Year's. I ain't thinking that far yet.
That's a
So
very good
if
question.
if not, Happy New Year's and stuff like that as well. If we don't,
Yo, happy
get to it.
holidays. Shit.
Yeah, all of that.
Well, was real.
So people, we'll see y'all the next time we link up.
Bless.
Have a
What
good
to
one.
wrap up.
Yes.